Hello, David Lemon here for Groove LemonAid number 53. This week we are coming close to our live event, the first one since I'm in the company, and it is super exciting. And this is GrooveKon. Hopefully you have access to watch it. It's going to be streamed live inside your Groove dashboard, and it's going to be super interesting. We have a lot of interesting speakers, and I cannot wait for tomorrow to start. So yeah, that's my short intro. I'm hopeful you have some time blocked to actually watch it. There's a lineup of super awesome speakers that actually have so much knowledge that you can just basically fill out multiple of these notebooks. I actually prepared mine for tomorrow. I'm planning to actually learn as much as I can on the side, moderating the chat and things like that. But hopefully you blocked some time for that as well. So we are doing a Q&A today, as we do every Tuesday and Friday. Hopefully you are with us here. I can see 10 people are watching, more coming in shortly. Link is the first one in the comments. It's good to have you here, Link. And what we'll be doing is going into the Facebook and answering the questions first there, and then coming back to the live stream chat, and then basically answering the comments that you guys have here live. So as I usually do, I start with just giving a short update on what's being worked on, what's coming, what's being released soon, and yeah, that's starting now. So this week we will be releasing a couple of updates, couple of things for GroovePages that I mentioned last time as well. Move to and clone to options for pages and funnel pages inside GroovePages. We'll have some SEO changes for people that are running Google Ads. They got their sites rejected multiple times. We are doing something in the code that will change that will help with that, not getting rejected. We're doing a bunch of changes. I'm going to do an announcement very shortly when it comes live. We're just doing the last couple of tests, and then it is actually go time. So that's for GroovePages. Very briefly, we won't be releasing the sitemaps at this moment in this release either today or tomorrow, but it will be coming by next week, because we found something that we still need to look into and fix before releasing it fully. But it's going to come next week. For people that are interested about GrooveKart is getting the integration with ShipStation, and that's also being checked right now. We did a deployment for GrooveKart recently, where we actually moved our GrooveKart domain management to the main GrooveCM domain management, which is opening a lot of doors for people that wanted to kind of have everything on one place, one domain connected to everything, and that's now possible. GrooveBlog got a couple of changes. I can go over them very briefly today. Minor changes, nothing major at this moment, but it's still a change. We are going to be doing a deployment also this week for the GrooveMember version 2. We had quite a lot of canvas changes for the new GrooveMember that is in sandbox mode. We also got the clone and the edit and delete options for your chapters, lessons, and modules as well. And what else? Groove Webinar is getting worked on constantly. We are preparing Groove Webinar. We'll have customizations and one-step, two-step order forms and things like that. So it's really an interesting not order forms, sorry, registration forms. So one-step, two-step registration forms, which is interesting. You'll be able to change the colors of buttons, of forms, styles, and all sorts of different things. I'm just getting a call from somebody. I'm just going to mute my phone very quickly. There we go. What else? Yeah, that's about it. We had a lot of changes done in the system because of the GrooveKon. So I'm just going to repeat one more time. Tomorrow we're starting with the GrooveKon at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the start of the live GrooveKon. If you're a platinum member, you'll be able to just log into your Groove dashboard and watch it live there. We are going to have we're going to have a lot of interesting topics, and I'm super excited to actually start that. So I'm just going to go very quickly over here so we can see Facebook users saying, hey, David, hello to you as well. I cannot see who you are. So if you may, I would appreciate if you go to streamyard.com/Facebook. That will allow me to actually see your name. And when I click on your comment, I would see when you're actually writing the comments. Let's just see. Angel is here saying hello. Rick is here. I have Alejandro saying hola, David. Let's just see. Brian has a question. Is the sitemaps update also going to include robots? Yes. Okay, perfect. Eduardo is here as well. Perfect. Thank you very much, guys, for being here. And I believe we are ready to jump into the questions. So the first question that came in from the Facebook post is, let me just go back. I need to open the post directly. Okie dokie, there we go. So let me just find, okay, here we go. So if we click on this, I can see all of the comments that were asked previously. So here we can see some of the questions from Rob. I'm just going to come to the other side. Rob had a question that is actually interesting, and in the meanwhile, he posted this 2 hours ago, and I was talking with the devs about this. So I'm going to tell you about. So, can you set up in GrooveSell where you do 3 installments of 500 every 2 weeks, and then monthly recurring of $50? Starting after somebody filled out that or paid out that installments. Is there a way to do this, and if so, how would you do that? So this is a great question because at this moment, unfortunately, that's not possible. So this is a question related to GrooveSell. The GrooveSell has these payment structures where you can set up very serious advanced payment structures. Oops, not this, but I'm just going to go into a product funnel very quickly and show you how to set up pricing that we currently have. So when you are selling a product, would that be consulting or service or anything really that is not a physical product sold in a catalog way, then you are able to set up one-time price structures, recurring payment structures, installments, and recurring installments. So it's already going quite advanced. However, there are some people that want to charge something like a maintenance fee or something after the initial payment. Like, for example, you have a huge payment at the beginning and then later on to continue with a monthly payment. That's at this moment not possible to kind of mix and match these payment options. So I have been talking with the developers, and we kind of strategized in the past 2 hours a way to actually do it, and I'm pretty confident that we can do that fairly quickly though. So Rob, at this moment it's not possible, but we found a way to actually do it. So we will be doing that. I don't have an ETA because it was literally just thought out. But yeah, we will I will add that in the roadmap, and we will have that added. I can just not tell you an ETA. It could be even this year, but most probably next year, because we already have a full-on list for things we want to develop in GrooveSell. But yeah, that's a great idea. We didn't think of that one because we cannot think of every use case, but I can see how that could be important. So there are workarounds, and I saw Rob also asked in another group where he got answer from Angie Norris. Angie recommended that they had a similar scenario, and what they did is they created an order bump. So an order bump was the actual bump that took care of the kind of a maintenance fee of a monthly charge after a big one-time payment or a big installment option. So you could do that now with bumps. People don't have to sign up and do fill out the order form again. It's going to work with a bump, but we will add that on as an option later on as well. Okay, let's just move on to the next question. We have a question from Rajiv. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that name correctly. Can a tracking link similar to ClickMagick be set using Groove tool or utility to track GroovePages or GrooveFunnels? Yes. However, ClickMagick is a software. It's basically a company that is specialized in one thing particularly, and that's tracking clicks. For those of you that may not know, if you go to ClickMagick, uh, Magic with a CK. Let's just have a look. There's a lot of platforms that do this, but ClickMagick is one of the kind of the older, more solid ones that people are used to using. Yeah, so what they do is basically this is a full-on company that does tracking and all sorts of different functionalities related to tracking. So we do have tracking, but we will not for sure offer all of these options. Let me just show you the extent we do with Groove when the tracking is concerned. So when you go into GrooveSell and then you come into tools, you can create your tracking links. It's already pretty powerful, and it can offer also these power user options, but it's not going to be as powerful as ClickMagick. We may add on more functionalities to this one later on, but at this moment we have kind of a basic version. So if you create a tracking link here from GrooveSell, you can just give it a name. You can also do a description and hook it up to a custom domain you have connected to your account. Then you can continue to the type. You can do tracking for external links. You can do tracking for your product landing pages that is actually connected to a product in GrooveSell. You could also use that for affiliate tracking links. Like if you're promoting something through Groove Affiliate, you are part of these. For example, these are my affiliate programs that I'm connected to, and I would be able to just hook up a tracking link to one of these affiliate programs. We'll later on add on GroovePages as well. So pages for funnels and webinar pages, and also website pages from GroovePages as the platform. Those are going to be also selectable, but at this moment you can already use that if you just copy paste the URL. So if you go into goals, it's basically, what do you want to track? Do you want to track vendor conversions or affiliate conversions? That's what you select here. Then you can just select the actual platform, the product funnel that you're selling from, and you can actually add on the systems to track that specific product funnel. I'm just going to go on. You can put in some tracking codes for your Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel, any kind of different platform pixels you can add on here. You could also set up cost per click in case you're tracking any type of solo ads or something like this. You put in your tracking link to a solo ad, and you can calculate the cost per click as well. And then tracking IDs, you can create these UTM parameters through these tracking IDs here. And then once you're done, you really just get your link that you can start sharing, and this tracking link will be sending the information to the kind of the analytics platform. So you can see impressions, unique signups, sales, how much money you are collecting, and then the different goals that you may have set up when you were setting up your links. So that's what we do. We are not as powerful as ClickMagick, but the basics are covered with us. We do have plans to improve this in a short term, because we also want some extra information that is used by our marketing team. But at this moment, I just don't have an ETA for that. It's on the to-do list that we want to do for this year, improve this tracking. But for you, I'm pretty confident that the features we currently have will be good for tracking your pages and funnels. Okay, moving on to the next question from Raghu. Raghu has a question: can I add more than one Stripe account in in GrooveSell? Suppose if I have 10 clients and I want to create 10 products for each one of my clients, and each client have their own Stripe account, can I add Stripe account for each client in GrooveSell with respective products? Absolutely. Raghu, you can easily do that. Even better would be if you use GroovePay. Let me tell you why. Because with GroovePay, if you're doing client work, let me just show you a trick that is kind of mind-blowing, and it would bring you a lot more money. So you may have clients that have already their own kind of Stripe accounts, but if they don't have a Stripe account, just do this. Go to groovepay.com and scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here you will see affiliates. So you click on the affiliates and you apply as an affiliate. So what this means is that if you get your client to sign up to GroovePay and use GroovePay instead of Stripe, which is cheaper, better, faster. It's managed by Groove. You can just get on a call with our support team. They can help you if there is anything. We also have the email support is from Matt Serralta. Matt Serralta is the co-founder of Groove. So he's literally doing the support for you. A founder or co-founder of Groove is replying back to your emails. Also, he has a Skype support as well in case you want. It's all here. And you can really have a Groove contact. Now, imagine if somebody sells, I don't know, sells something through the funnels that you designed or that you set up for them. Each and every transaction would get you money as well, and that's really there is no more passive way of making money than getting somebody signed up as basically through your affiliate link for a payment gateway. And that's why I would not only why, but that's very, very powerful. And if you can do that, please create a GroovePay account and get them to sign up through you. But yes, if you would like to have multiple accounts with Stripe, it's the same as with any other payment gateway that we support currently in Groove. You can add on as many accounts as you want. So what you do is you go into setting up a particular product and you click on gateways, and you come here, set up gateways. As you can see at this moment, I have 3 Stripe accounts, but I can easily add on 5, 10, 15 more. So all of these accounts that you see here behind me are supported, and you can add on as many as you want. But again, I highly suggest you to use GroovePay. It's going to be more connected, faster to manage, easier to support, and you can also earn money through it. So yeah, that's the answer to that. Paul has a question. Hey David, GroovePages content blocks that have image text in first row followed by text image in the second row. Can you show me the best way to format that correctly for mobile, please, so that 2 images don't appear together? Absolutely, Paul, I can do that. There is actually a tutorial that that is a workaround for the moment. I have that functionality to kind of switch the order on a mobile screens for when you have a text, or sorry, an image. No, sorry, text, image, and then here image, text. When you do that on a mobile, it will be text, image, image, text. So it doesn't really look the best. But I can show you here. If you go to YouTube and you type in inverse column in GroovePages, so inverse column GroovePages. Okay, that's a training from one of our customers, from one of our Groovesters, and he actually has a very cool tutorial where he shows you how to do that exactly. If you click on this link in the description, he gives you a document basically guiding you through step by step, because that's done through a piece of code. So this is I believe it's CSS. Yeah, that's most probably CSS. What you do is basically copy the code, paste it into the layout, and then it's going to change it only on mobile screens. So this code says that if the screen reaches a maximum width of 760 pixels, then just switch the order. And that's literally what it needs to do, and that's what I would suggest. So I'm just going to copy paste this video for you here in the answers, and hopefully you see it, and hopefully you are able to follow this training. It's pretty simple. It's a workaround for now. We'll be adding that into our software at a later stage, but yeah, this is how you can do it. Okay, moving on. Let's just see. Leon has a question here for GrooveKart. Can you please show me how to add an additional email address to GrooveKart? I'm having trouble with SPF settings. The additional email additional email address is hosted by Namecheap. Okay, perfect. So Leon, if you are aware, we did a change for GrooveKart, and that is concerning the domain settings. So there is two types of GrooveKart stores. One is a legacy GrooveKart store, which is kind of an older store with the management of domains still within GrooveKart. There is the newer stores that were created after a certain time that will have the domains managed inside the Groove.cm platform. I'm going to guide you through everything now. So you go to settings and then click here, domain. You can see here that I have connected this particular store with a domain that is inside the main Groove account over here, inside domains. So this is now connected to my Groove.cm domain management. I could go easily into the DNS settings and add on records here. So if this is what you see, if this is the case on your side of things, then adding an SPF record is very simple. It's basically copy pasting what Namecheap provides you. So you go here to add a record, and then you select SPF record, and you just basically copy paste the records that Namecheap gives you. Once you did that, you click save, and then it needs to kind of do a verification, a quick check if the records show up in our system. But after that, you're basically good to go. So if you manage your domains through Groove.cm, then this is the scenario. If you are managing your domains through GrooveKart, if you see here that it says a legacy domain setup or legacy domain for GrooveKart, then you would need to contact support for help with that at this moment. The reason is because as we connected the GrooveCM platform for domains and the GrooveKart platform for domains, we didn't merge them. We left it so that the users can decide if they want to move or not. So in this case, you would need to contact the Groove support so they could actually they could actually assist you with this one. I just saw a quick question about similar thing in here. What does SRV in DNS mean? SRV is just another type of record that is handling some communication between a domain and the platform. So if you go into the domains over here, if you can just Google it, SRV records, some a service record. Yeah, a service record is a specification of data in the domain name system defining the location, host name, and port number of servers. Basically, it's a communication between the domain and some other platform. And in this case, in our case, we use it for GrooveKart mail. So if you may not know, when you create a store with GrooveKart, you get an email platform where it's basically an email inbox connected to your store. If you connect your custom domain to your GrooveKart store, you will have support at yourdomain.com created automatically, and GrooveKart also provides you an email inbox so that if somebody sends you an email to support at yourdomain.com, you will have that all within GrooveKart. That's actually happening over here. Let me just see orders and then your help desk. I'm not sure if I have that set up over here. Yeah, so you would need to kind of copy over these records into the DNS settings, and then you would have an email created automatically for your store, which is pretty cool. It's pretty handy. I don't know of a platform that does this, that they give you an email inbox directly with your store. So that's it. Leon, if you need any more help, please reach out to support. This is still a fresh thing for managing the DNS records for your GrooveKart mail, because we just did a change basically over the weekend, and on Monday we will start doing some changes to it. So please reach out to support. They would be able to assist if you cannot figure out how to copy paste over those SRV records. Okay, moving on to the next question. Brian Dunn had a question about SEO modules. I believe I answered that one to him, and I'm pretty confident that this is the same Brian Dunn that I answered the questions for earlier. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, there we go. So we finished the questions from the Facebook group. I'm going to just close this window and just jump into the live questions here. Okay, let's see where we stopped. Tyler had a question. I set up my SendGrid and got my confirm verify email, but there was no button on the email to click to verify. Tyler, that may be because your inbox platform opens emails differently. If you could have a look at the HTML version of the email. Have a look at the let me see. Most of these emails provide the HTML versions. I'm just going to very quickly check if the verify email can do that as well. I'm not sharing my screen, and that's on purpose. Give me just one moment. I'm going to just check something very quickly. Verify group. I just want to find okay. So I believe this is how it looks like. Let me just share my screen. So I just searched for a verification email over here, and you can, if you don't see this button, then have a look if you can find the HTML version of this. Let me show original. That's not what I wanted. There would be an option to show the actual HTML version of this email. Depending on your platform, it's going to look different. I do not know where they have it here. But some platforms just don't like this type of HTML buttons or images or things like that from unverified, not confirmed addresses yet. And what we have here, no reply from GrooveMail server. It's a new server, a new email that really just sends out a verification email from time to time, and it's not yet fully trusted by the actual platforms. Let's just see. Is this actually the one that I need? No, that's not HTML. That's just showing some other things. So not quite sure. Maybe Google it. The platform that you're using, show HTML email in Outlook in Gmail. How do I view the HTML code of an email? Okay, so I don't want to read this now on the live stream, but you can also maybe look at this way. But yeah, I've seen also cases where Gmail hides certain things. So have a look with your platform. It's it most probably because they kind of block certain aspects of the email. Anyway, let's move on. Okay. Oh, Mark is here. Hey, Mark, it's good to have you here. Okay, there is Alejandro has a question, and I'm not quite sure if I can answer because it is in Spanish, and I do not understand Spanish, especially the direct marketing and page building aspects of Spanish. I really just know some items from a menu, Spanish menu. I wouldn't be able to. Alejandro, if you can understand me, if you write your question, just copy paste it in translate very quickly and provide me with with the English version of your question, I would be able to answer. And then once we have the video kind of finalized, when we end the broadcast, we will see the YouTube or YouTube creates a transcription of the video, and you will be able to translate it to Spanish to understand if you don't understand the reply that I would give you. So English questions, if you could provide me, that would be great. Okie dokie, let's just have a look from a question from Win. When can we expect subscription model in GrooveKart wherein we can accept subscription and charge customers monthly based on their subscription? Yeah, as I mentioned, I believe last week, this is something that we are working on after the ShipStation integration. That's already been in progress, and I do not know where we are, but I'm pretty confident that we are approximately around 50% done with this task. It's going to look almost the same as the management of payments. So it's not only subscription, it's really installments and subscription, where you can create kind of rich payment structures for your physical products in GrooveKart. Installments are good because when you're selling a I don't know, a pricier thing, Shopify and other platforms provide you with a system called Klarna. Klarna is something that kind of creates an installment payment option. Let me just kind of show you. Klarna. Shortcut to shopping. This is an app where they kind of break apart the payments of something that you're selling, and people can pay in installments, but they take a cut of this. So there are positives and negatives for shopping with this app, but you really can provide that yourself as well when we build it into GrooveKart. It's going to look exactly as what we have here with GrooveSell. So you'll be able to do one time, you'll be able to do recurring, and that's the actually subscription, and you'll be able to do installments, or maybe even recurring installments. I'm not quite sure. It's not fully needed with physical products, but these three will be possible. And the installments are really what Klarna does, is just breaks up a big payment to smaller chunks. The only difference with this, and this is GrooveSell. So the only difference between GrooveSell and GrooveKart is going to be the variants. So in GrooveKart, you can create a product. Let's say you're selling a t-shirt, and you can have a red t-shirt, a blue t-shirt, a green t-shirt. But those t-shirts can also have different variations of size, of different images on those t-shirts. Like you can have a green t-shirt in S and L and M and XS and XM and X. I don't know if XM is a thing, but XL and XXL and things like that. So you can have multiple variations of the same product, and that's going to be the only difference, because GrooveSell doesn't have these variations, and GrooveKart is fully reliant on those variations because it's a physical product sales platform. So that's being worked on. As I mentioned, I don't have an ETA, but that's something that is in the pipeline that the devs are focusing on right now. Okie dokie. Let's just move on to the next question. You can see a question from Brian. For GrooveKart, I've set up my e-commerce store in GrooveKart, but I can't get my products to show up in my storefront. I have the products active, and I click publish and save in the finish tab when creating the product. Brian, there may be that the products are set up to not show inside the store, and I will show you where that could be managed. Not quite sure if that's the case, but that could be the case, and that's the scenario where I see it going wrong with not that button, with what you just mentioned to me. I would if what I showed you here right now, if that's not the answer to your question, please reach out to support. They would be able to log into your account and kind of look into what is actually happening. But what I think could be the issue is here at the finish button, at the step number 6, choose where to show your product. You may have it set up as for something different, like URL search only, for example. in those cases, the actual product wouldn't show up as an option when you show a product, a product section on your on a product section on your store. I'm just talking nonsense right now. So, in my opinion, this is where it could go wrong, but I may be wrong. I may not fully understand what you have set up so far, but that's why I suggest you to reach out to support. You can have a real person log into your account and look into what may be wrong. So that's what I would suggest if this is not the case. Okay, let's just go on and see. Could you give us some updates on an ETA with Pabbly integration webhooks for our Groove apps now that Zapier is done? Yes, so Pabbly and Integrately. This is something that we are working with their teams. There were some. Let me just very quickly look into the last answer from the dev that is handling this. Okay, yeah. So for Pabbly one, they do everything through webhooks, and there was something that was needed, I believe, some certain documentation and things like that. I will need to double check where we are with that. But they do completely different integrations than what Zapier does. Pabbly is a platform that really love webhooks because and I agree with them. The webhooks are cheaper and easier on servers because they only fire when there's a push from a platform. And API, it really just all the time searches for any kind of action. So it is true, and I agree with how Pabbly works. They have this system that they want to follow. I'm not quite sure where we are with that from our side. I know that we are missing still some webhooks and things like that, but I don't think we may be missing anything from the software side. Maybe just the documentation. I'll double check, and then I'll provide an update maybe on the next Q&A. But Integrately, said Integrately reached out on the phone as well, said they are not able to find a solution for the issue from their side. So they Integrately have some things that they are working on. They are working on this connection between Groove and their platform, and they have some issue that they cannot figure out. So we'll look into. He says here that he'll ask Dev next week to look into it as soon as the GrooveKon related changes are live. So that was, I believe, just a little bit postponed because we had some features we needed to finalize for GrooveKon. So Integrately may be happening even sooner than Pabbly, but that's being worked on, and we are in contact with those companies. Can I apply for GroovePay affiliate without GroovePay account? GroovePay is not available in India. Can I do that? Not sure. Really not sure. Reach out to their support. I'm not sure if you need to have a GroovePay account for that one. That's a very good question. I don't have that answer right now, but we can maybe check together on the application form. So if we go to groovepay.com/affiliate program, they may have a full-on form where they have the offered countries. Let's just see. City. They don't have a country. First name, last name, legal business name, type of configuration, individual, physical address. Okay, maybe this is something that that actually checks the. Have a look here. I'm not quite sure if this form field over here really checks the address and it connects the address to a live location, maybe with Google Maps or something, just to verify. But have a look. Try to apply and see if that works out. Okay. Let me just go back to the questions. Okay, here we go. Ivor has a question here. Hello, David. I cloned a page in GroovePages, and although I renamed the page, when I get the link for the page, it's still showing the old page. What do you think I'm doing wrong? I guess that the copy button that you're pressing is not the actual copy of that page. So let me just show you. So just to understand, I cloned a page in GroovePages, and although I renamed the page, when I get the link for the page, it's still showing the old page. What do you think I'm doing wrong? Okay, so I have a site here that is just a template. I didn't change anything on it. So I'm going to go to pages, and I'm going to copy this coaching page. Okay, so clone. I'm going to have a live coaching clone page. So what I will do is I will click on this one, and I need to publish. Okay, so I need to publish out the site or even this page, because at this moment, if I would get a link to this page, that is not live yet. So first step is to publish. The second step is to actually select the page that you want to kind of get the domain from. Let me just show you here. So you can see that this URL is coaching-copy, and the original page was /coaching. So let's have a look together. If I am on this page, which is just selected, and if I go to publish and then this section over here, the current page is for publishing, going onto this domain or going onto the URL of this page, or copying this to clipboard. So if I click over here, you can see that I am on the actual coaching page. So I need to just manage my 404 settings. They are kind of going wild. Let's just have a look. Coaching copy. I'm going to copy this to the clipboard and do an incognito window check. Okay. I would need to do something on here because this 404 is, let's just send people to YouTube. We added this 404 and it's taking over all of the pages. So let's just see if I change something on this URL. Coaching 2 maybe. Let's publish it out. Okay, this is now done. So let's check coaching 2. Okay, it redirects. It could be something to do with a redirect option if you have set it up, or it could be something else entirely. So I'm just seeing this now. Let's see if this is only happening with the cloned pages or not. So I'm just going to do a quick test because that's something new. Okay, so now I have this page that I created. It's called page 7. I'm going to name it coaching 3. And let's see if this is actually going live or not. Maybe that the publishing is not being done properly. Okay. So just check this one with the devs immediately. We are doing some changes, or maybe even deployment is going live for GroovePages. I thought it's going to happen later on, but it may be actually happening right now. But we'll double check. Okay, let me just see where is. Okay, so let's just do one more time a publish test for this site. Okay, I have coaching 3. So let's just see. Coaching 3 page 7 is happening, but if I go back to the cloned page and if I open this one, Live coaching. It's actually working right now. I'm not quite sure what was the issue. Could be that it just needed some time to actually publish. So let's just give it a go one more time. Let's just test it out. If I clone coaching 2, okay. So if I publish my whole website again, so I'm on the coaching 2 dash copy. Let's just give it a go one more time. So here, coaching 2 dash copy. Let's open it up. Coaching 2 dash copy is now showing up. So there was just a small glitch in time. It could be that we are doing in a deployment, not quite sure. We do have a lot of things ready to be deployed. So not sure. What was the name of the person? Ivor. You saw, Ivor, that I just did a test. It was just a small glitch, but I don't think that's the reason why you're having some difficulties. So if you're not seeing the same results as I am, like when I copied it, it actually created a clone, but it opened that URL from the cloned page. So not quite sure what is happening on your side. Please do a test one more time. If it's still doing that, then reach out to our support team. They would be able to look into it for you, please. Okay. So, hi David, will using Canva graphics be okay in GroovePages? If so, should I embed the graphic using Canva code snippet or just drag and drop? Canva is an image editor. Anything that is an image on the site can be kind of edited with Canva. So this can be a Canva thingy. This can be Canva. This can be Canva. So how you work with Canva is most of the time just downloading the image and then using the image as the source. Then you can just drag and drop an image media file or image element, and you could click on this and then configure the actual image. You upload your image that you downloaded from Canva, and in my opinion, that would be the best. And I will explain you why. So images are lighter to use than an embed, and that is for the reason because an embed, a code, is something that is coming from a third-party server. It's coming from somewhere else, and when you're loading up a website that is mostly text, images, some colors and buttons and things like that, it loads fast because everything is on one server and all of the information is getting loaded at the same time. But when you're using an embed like what Canva provides, that's good. However, the text, the buttons, the colors, the everything else loads from one server, and then after this has been loaded, then the image needs to be pulled in. So it will be fast for smaller images. For larger, it will be a bit slower, but it's still coming from somewhere else. So the easiest and best thing that you could do is download the image, make sure that you resize it and that it's small to use, and then include it on your page through an image element. In that case, you can also use the image that you created as a background. So for example, I have this block. I have this block of this section, and I can go into the background and set up an image as the background of that section. Let me just show you very quickly here. And in this case, I just set up this as the background. So what I could also do is just do some opacity sliders. I could also blur the background and things like make it a little bit more cool looking, but that's basically what you could do with images. With embeds, you wouldn't be able to do this. So yeah, my suggestion: use images, download the image and use that. I was unable to attend GrooveKon live as a pro member. Do I still have to pay $197 to attend, or is there a special link in the platform? So if you are a paid platinum member, you will just log in tomorrow. In your dashboard, you will be able to see the actual GrooveKon being streamed live. That's basically it. Any updates on GrooveMail SMTP rollout? How far is the warming of our IP addresses? We are doing the testing now, so just yesterday, I believe, we had a deployment that is for the test service for our devs to kind of see all of the changes, because when we are handling the SMTP on our end, it requires a bit more communication with with a software than when we are actually doing it from an external SMTP. So that was being tested, or that was deployed yesterday. I don't know if the tests are done or not, but the warming is still not happening from within Groove. The SMTP can be controlled from external, like server related application, but it's still not controlled by GrooveMail. That's going to come later on. I do not have an ETA. That's constantly being worked on. Okie dokie. Let's just have a look at the next question. How is GrooveMember version 2 coming together? Any ETA for it? I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream that we are doing a deployment this week for some of the improvements and fixes for the sandbox mode. That's not meaning that we are leaving the sandbox mode now. We still are working on the access levels for the instant access and the drip access, and we're working on, let me just tell you, just 1 second. Okay, yeah, and so access levels and the GrooveMember.net side of things. That's where your users are logging in, so the login pages and the responsiveness and the actual clickable options that your users will see. So that's being worked on, and once that is done, then the sandbox mode will kind of go away. But at this moment, that's we are pushing hard. We are doing. We are doing some functionalities that are needed to actually go live with this, but we're looking good. We're looking good with everything that we wanted, that we set up. Ivor has another question. As I build up memberships in the old GrooveMember, can these memberships be easily transferred to GrooveMember version 2 when it becomes more functional? Yes, Ivor, we will be working on an importer that will actually import your version 1 memberships to version 2. That's going to come out after we go live, after we have sorted the access levels and everything I just talked about just a moment ago. The importer will kind of take care of the bulk things, but there will be still maintenance needed in order to kind of put things into the correct places, because we have a completely new builder. It is not understanding everything that is on your pages at this moment, because we have now download boxes and video boxes and question boxes that we didn't previously have the same kind of way. So we will have an importer. It will still require some kind of tinkering with it, but it's going to help for those people that have large memberships for sure. Could you please explain how to integrate my domain in Groove with my GrooveMail? My domain in Groove and my GrooveMail with CloudFlare, SendGrid, and the email hosting, which is in my case Zoho Mail. So Eduardo, that's a full-on training that would probably be 30 minutes or 45 minutes for me to show. I don't plan to go into this right now. However, you can go on YouTube and search for tutorials. I know that many of our users have created trainings on this use case. I know Amy Wu has a training with Zoho Mail and GrooveMail and everything. So please look into those options at the beginning. Just type in GrooveMail, SendGrid, or GrooveMail Zoho, or something like that. These two keywords will or variations of these keywords will give you the options you need. It really takes a step-by-step training around 30 or 45 minutes for this to be done, and I just don't want to waste not waste, but spend so much time for that one specific use case. Oh wow, I was not aware GrooveKart you can choose where to show products. That's a brilliant news. Thanks. No problem. I have set up Zapier with GrooveMember. Once payment happens, assign course to that use, but when user logged into the member, they are not able to watch video. It's showing a lock icon. If I assign directly, it is work. Any idea how what will be the issue? I would need to look into this one, or the support would need to look into this one. This is very hard to kind of figure out just from these 3 lines that you provided on what could be wrong. There may be many things wrong. There may be things with a product setup. There may be things between the actual connections. I don't even know what sales platform you're using. So there may be things that would need to be checked, but I just don't have the means to do that right now. So please reach out to our support. They could look into and point you into the right direction on what to do. Okay. Okay. So Alejandro most probably asked about the report spam bar, a black bar at the bottom of the sites when created with free version. Yeah, that's correct. Thank you very much, Antigod, for answering. How can I change my font types and sizes on all the pages I will publish? At this moment, you cannot do it from once. You can change the font type, like the font the font itself for all the pages. I will show you in a moment, but the size you cannot change. We will have customization of things later on for where you set up the heading size, the subheadings, the different paragraph and things like that. But at this moment, it's kind of page by page setup, except if you set up the font for the whole site. Now let me just show you how to do that. So we are now here in GroovePages, and I have a site with a couple of pages. And if I want to change the font, all the fonts on all of the pages to be one specific font, then I can go into the settings over here, site settings, and I can set up a font from this drop down. You select the font that you want to use, and that's going to kind of change all of the fonts on all of the pages that you have. For example, okay, this has been now changed. Now, the reason why we cannot see it right now is because the fonts have been specifically set up over here. If we set up parent default, that's going to actually bring in the change that is kind of set up over here in the site settings. The reason is because this template itself was managed with fonts that was set up specifically to be an XYZ font. I don't know which font they use, but if everything, all the texts on the template, all the texts on your site would be set up as parent default, that would manage the fonts on the site. So hopefully that helps you understand a little bit how to manage everything at the same time. GroovePay application form is missing a tutorial video or text. Several questions make me scratch my head, especially as an EU German citizen. Seems if it addresses more than the US CA market. Kai, it is really hard to create a video that is covering all of the legal and all of the kind of necessary policies from each country. That would be a super long video, and it's just not something we do. What you need to do, if you have any questions, reach out to support, and that's the only way to manage it right now. You will most probably not see also videos on Stripe. You will not see videos on other payment gateway platforms that provide multi-country support, because that's just not something that is sustainable, because policies of different countries change fast, and even what we say what we are asking on an application form now may change later on. So the only foolproof way to actually get the correct information that is causing you to scratch your head is to reach out to support. I know that this is the longest option that I could suggest, but it's just country by country. GroovePay supports a lot of countries, and country by country things change. So that's why you should just reach out to support so they could assist you for your specific country. Can we edit and customize the navigation bar in GrooveKart apart from selecting from the available design options? What about mega menus in GrooveKart? Is it under works like GroovePages? We don't have plans for mega menus in GrooveKarts at this moment. That's just not something that our users wanted. But customizations of colors and more options is being worked on. For now, you can manage the colors with some custom CSS. In the last video, I actually showed how to do that. So if you go to Groove LemonAid number 52, in the timestamps of the video, you can actually find where I'm showing you an example on how to manage that. So that could help, but otherwise at this moment, you'll need to wait for more inbuilt functionalities. Do we have video how to use CloudFlare for HTTPS? There are multiple videos out there. Yeah. So head over to our YouTube channel and look into legacy domain setup. That's what we call the setup where it's not Groove handling your domain, but it's actually a platform like CloudFlare. So we call that a legacy domain and or domain setup. So these keywords will provide you everything that you need. Any progress on EU GDPR? I see with great joy it is again on the roadmap. It was always on the roadmap. It was never moved from the roadmap. It's being worked on. We are putting in more and more functionalities into the apps that we create. Like registration boxes now have almost a necessary toggle or just a checkbox for GDPR and things like that. From the management of the database at this moment, we are still working on that, and we need to build the proper structures in the system to handle that. So at this moment, I don't have ETAs or any kind of progress. It's basically backend stuff that I just don't understand, but it's moving forward. I've deleted my V1 membership when creating a new V2. It says subdomain already exists. How can I recreate new V2 membership with same subdomain? The subdomain is something that is used for kind of, it's a free subdomain that is allowing you to kind of create membership. Most probably you're not going to use that when you're actually selling your content. So at this moment, I wouldn't be really bothered by that. If you really want to get the same subdomain, reach out to support. They may be able to kind of restart the subdomain that you used previously. I know that we have systems in place which is kind of a what's it called? It's like a backup that is a certain amount of time it stays on connected to one subdomain. When deleted, there's things like that. I don't know if that is right, that is the case for memberships, but I believe it is. So if you reach out to support, they would be able to assist you with maybe restarting the subdomain that was already deleted previously, that doesn't have a membership connected to it. But I would just suggest maybe not to be bothered by that. It's really not important. If you are a professional and serious about your business, you will most probably just hook up an $8 custom domain to whatever you're selling. So just call it subdomain that I used to.groovemember.net. It really just is for yourself to kind of be able to create a membership. So my suggestion, don't be bothered by that. In case you really want to go that route and spend time to get that subdomain back because that's something that you want, sure, reach out to our support. They would be able to look into it. Is GrooveKon going to be recorded, and are we able to access the recordings? Yes, there will be recordings, but I'm pretty confident that those recordings will be will be sold, because the content that's being provided there is really valuable. And also, not sure, but those people that are attending may also need to be paid for recordings. I do not have that information, but we will be recording, and we will provide further communication on what's going to happen with that. We will have replays on one page, I believe, but then it's going to be taken off quite quickly. So if you can attend live, that's the best suggestion I can give you. Okay. Okay, I just lost the comments. Give me just one moment. Okay, can we create blog as a folder instead of subdomain? Yes, you can do that. What are most recommended size and type of PNG JPEG images to use in group? There is no recommended size. It depends on where you're putting it and what you're using it for. A background image can be huge, but it's the basically the image you're using for a testimonial should be small. There's no recommended size. There is no one size fits all. Just have a look at how big of the image you want and kind of guess the pixel width. Would it be 250 pixels wide? Would it be 500 pixels wide? JPEG images are normally lighter, but they don't give you the ability to have a transparent background. PNG images are most of the times kind of a higher quality and larger images in file size, but they can provide you also transparent backgrounds. Whether you go with one or the second, that depends on where you want to position or where you want to put those images. But either one of these you go with, I highly suggest you to just compressed images. So there are platforms like Image Compressor or Tiny PNG or something like that. Just Google image compressing or compress images online or something like that, and upload your images there first. That's going to provide you much smaller images to work with. Your pages will load faster. Your clients will see your site on their phones even much faster, and everybody's happy. It takes a couple of seconds just to compress those images, and it's highly suggested. On a free account, there is a link at the bottom that says built with Groove. How can I change the link to use my affiliate link? You cannot do that. Every free account will have that built in, and that's not something that we allow to change. If you would like to not have that, you can change. You can just upgrade, and that's highly suggested that you upgrade, because we are moving away from this lifetime option soon, and you may miss out on something that you don't want to miss out. Do you need to be a GroovePay customer to promote GroovePay as an affiliate? I just answered that earlier. So there was a question that asked the same exact question. I said, I'm not sure. Please reach out to their support team if you want to kind of get that information, or just fill out the application form and see if that allows you to kind of go through the next option. Bum, bum, bum. Thanks, David, but the tutorials I have found only cover one part, Groove and CloudFlare, or Groove and SendGrid, but none of them so far cover both CloudFlare and SendGrid in the same video. But Eduardo is just really putting together the two. So you do one step, and this is connect Groove and CloudFlare, and the second step is kind of manage SendGrid in CloudFlare. It's basically just managing DNS records. I don't have a video on that one. I've seen others do it. They may have not the same exact scenario that you want to have, but try to kind of try to combine those two videos that they are teaching. There is no there's not a lot of ways you can go wrong about this one. Just try something. If it doesn't work, reach out to support. They would be able to help you get set up. I would love a mega menu in GrooveKart. Sure. Request it on the feedback portal. Let's see how much it is upvoted. You can already create quite a full menus in GrooveKart. I I can see how a mega menu would be useful, but at this moment, people are wanting a uh, much more of other things in GrooveKart. Mega menu is not something I've seen requested a lot of times. Of the new 404 page option, will we have the option to change the pink loading circle layout when loading a page in the future as well? It doesn't really fit with a lot of my branding. Maybe that's not something that we thought about at this moment, but please raise a feature request for that one, and then let's see if people would like that. Okay. Ivor Livingston. Hello, David. I have a domain for a store at Shopify. To use this domain on GrooveKart, what would I have to do first? Close the Shopify store first, then use the domain name for my GrooveKart store. So if your domain is actually managed by Shopify, I don't know if they manage the domain themselves. Most probably they do. But if they actually do the management of the domains, you would need to transfer your domain first to somewhere else. My suggestion would be to transfer domain to a platform like CloudFlare or even Namecheap. So let me just see. Transfer domain from Shopify to Namecheap. So this tells me that they actually host and they manage the domain for you. So connect the domain to Shopify. Okay, that's not what I want. How do I transfer my domain from Shopify? Can I connect Namecheap? Okay, that's not what I want. How to close shop and move domain. There we go. Just one Google search helps. Okay. You could transfer domain away from Shopify. That is not an issue at all. I would recommend doing this in this first before closing all accounts, so it's moved away fully. There you go. So please read a couple of articles here on Shopify, or just look at some videos, or just find some articles about this. They will be able to help. I don't know what they are requesting, but I would suggest either Namecheap or move your domain directly to Cloudflare. From there, you have full capabilities of connecting to every platform in the world. Cloudflare is just genius and awesome. GrooveKart, just for being sure I understand, with a free account you have to pay up $4.95 plus 30 cents dollar with GroovePay plus 2%. So if you sell, you will pay $6.95% plus 30 cents only if you sell. So that's with free accounts. Yeah. $4.95 plus 30 cents. So this is for the transaction fees in case you're using GroovePay, and the 2% is for the kind of the store fee. And if you sell, basically that's correct. If you get people to upgrade or on a paid account with Groove, then they don't have to pay any kind of store fees, anything at all. They will need to pay the GroovePay transactions, because that's something that is required. Every payment gateway will need to have a transaction fee. Google Fonts are free for commercial use. Is there a reason why they are not integrated into Groove platform? We do use Google Fonts in all of our platforms. If you have a look when you're loading in a site, any site really, in GrooveKart, GroovePages, GrooveBlog, at the bottom of the page in the lower left, you will see Google Fonts API or something like that. It shows it's basically loading the Google Fonts. It's integrated in our platform. We don't show all of the fonts at all times, just the major ones. But yeah, we do use Google Fonts already. For creating website using Groove, do we always need to use Cloudflare? You don't have to use Cloudflare. Cloudflare is something that is being used by Groove itself. What is different, and what do you recommend? Cloudflare is a platform that is it's kind of a Swiss Army knife for managing a lot of things with your domains, with the speed, with security, with it does all sorts of things. Groove uses it. Groove uses it natively. So if you connect your domain to Groove, your domain will be on Cloudflare. You will get the speed, you will get the security, you'll get the domain options, you get everything. You can also connect to Cloudflare yourself, but in that case, you are not covered on our enterprise full secure account. You most probably have the free account or one of the lower paid accounts if you go at it alone. But yes, I highly suggest Cloudflare because it's not only doing one thing, it's doing so many more things that is just impossible to kind of mention all of the functions that they have. And it's a really convenient and a platform that you can kind of rely on. They have their system set up that you can be confident that it's not going to go away overnight. So yeah, that's basically it. Okay, so I believe I answered most of the questions I can see on here. Thanks, David, for your response to my question. My pleasure, Ivor. My pleasure. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will be wrapping up this session for today. We will be having another session on Friday. However, I want to also mention one more time, we are starting with the GrooveKon live stream tomorrow. If you have not if you have not planned out some of your time in the next couple of days, make sure you plan the GrooveKon live stream. Will have very, very famous people to be teaching us things about internet marketing, entrepreneurship, chatbots, and things like that. So if you are interested in that kind of stuff, make sure just to log into your Groove dashboards and follow with us. So that's it. Thank you very much. Hopefully see you on the next Q&A. And until then, have a great weekdays, weekend, whatever you are celebrating or having. See you guys. Bye-bye.